Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the German Tier 7 preferential premium tank destroyer, the E25, or the Cockroach. So if you do like the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, as it really does help out the channel. And yes, we got the E25. Now this video is basically all about the second replay, because oh boy do we have a stormer. But this first replay, we're just basically going to talk about the E25, tell you why it's such a mental little Tier 7 tank destroyer. And that is because, well, number one, the only real weak thing about this vehicle is the penetration. And that's because this is the 75mm gun that you get on the VK3002M. It has 150 penetration on the standard AP rounds, with 194 penetration on the premium APCR rounds. 38 penetration on your HE rounds, which means, yeah, HE you're not really going to use on this vehicle. It's got 135 damage on its standard and its premium rounds, and it's got 925 meters a second shell velocity on the standard AP, and 1,156 meters a second shell velocity on the premium APCR. Now, realistically, the gun is the only real weak bit about the tank, and the only real weak bit about this gun is literally the penetration. That's it. The thing that makes this tank mental is, number one, while that penetration is weak, you are a preferential premium tank destroyer, which means you do not see tier 9s ever in this vehicle. And actually, you get top tier quite often in this vehicle because preferential premiums just seem to end up like that. You've also got pretty mental camouflage. This tank is absolutely nutty with its camouflage. It's got 174 meters of steel concealment with the build that I run, 201 meters of concealment on the move, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's better than most of the light tanks at tier 7. It's better than a lot of tanks, realistically, in World War II. The camo is absolutely insane. It also has pretty good camouflage after firing. So this vehicle actually has way better camouflage after firing than a lot of other tank destroyers, because it's a very old school thing that the tank destroyers used to have, in the fact that back in the day, way back, tank destroyers used to have better camo after firing. And then because it was deemed to be very, very powerful for them and a little bit too strong, they basically took it away from all tank destroyers. Except for the premium ones, like I think the FCM 36 Pack 40 has that. And this E25 has it as well, which means, like you've just seen me there, we're in the middle of the open, shooting at that AMX AC-46, and he just couldn't see us, even though we were firing. And that's because we can also help reduce the amount of camouflage or we lose after firing with a perk like muffled shot, you know, which can be pretty handy too. But yeah, the camouflage is absolutely nutty. 174 meters of steel concealment. You've got 461 meters of view range with the build that I run. You also have 3.7k DPM, which is absolutely phenomenal and just shreds everything. And because it's so difficult to spot this tank, a lot of the time you can take all of the hit points of someone before they've even seen you, which is just pure filth. Pure filth. You've got 1.38 second aim time as well, which means this gun is always aimed in pretty damn quickly. You've got the 0.24 accuracy during 100 meters, sorry, which means that this gun is also very, very accurate. And with an accuracy of 0.82 during rotation and an accuracy of 2.5 during movement, which is helped with the crew skills that we run, means that the gun doesn't actually bloom out that much, and because you've got the 1.38 second aim time as well, it's absolutely phenomenal. Add in, you've got 8 degrees of gun depression, and you can use positions like you're seeing right here to farm away to your heart's content. So what do I run in terms of crew and equipment on the E25? Well, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Run and Gun, Camouflage Expertise, Silent Driving, Muffled Shot, Advanced Loader, the Camo Net, and Optics. Optics to be able to get that 461 meters of view range, which isn't the best in the universe, but because the camo is so good, it's really, really nice to have, to be honest. It could be better, but at the same time, because, like I say, you're such a struggle to get spotted, you will outspot most of your opponents very, very easily anyway with that. And then the camouflage net to get it down to that 174 meters of steel concealment, and the advanced loader to have that phenomenal 3.7k DPM. And then all 3 camo perks in the camouflage expertise, silent driving, and muffled shot to get the best out of the camo you can get, to have that filthiness of it. And then steady aim and run and gun to make the accuracy of the gun better by 10% and the accuracy on the move better by 10% too. That first game we saw was 1760 base XP with 3.3k damage. That was actually in a tier 8 game as well, and it was a fairly average game for an E25, realistically. That's just the way it goes for the E25 sometimes. It can just, like I say, it can play as a scout very, very easily. Very, very easily, it can play as a scout. And if you put yourselves in a good tank destroyer position and you are shooting things that are getting spotted, you can also farm away very, very easily in this vehicle and rack up damage in an absolute blink of an eye. It is mental how fast damage racks up in this vehicle. And because it's so damn difficult to see you as well, yeah, you just end up getting good farms off on a lot of maps, especially those that with good concealment spots and stuff like that, like Westfield, like Proc, like Mali. You know, you can be an absolute nuisance. And it scuttles across the battlefield like a cockroach as well, very, very fast, because it's got a 65 km/h top speed with a 26.62 horsepower per ton ratio, which means you absolutely zip up to the top speed, and you just can go away, run away to your heart's content, run to the really aggressive bush locations, and tanks won't realise where you are very easily either, like this M4A1 FL10, because even though we're only like 200 metres away, he couldn't see us. Even though I was firing at him, because we were firing at him from concealment, but we weren't using the concealment that wisely, but he still couldn't see us. And because he doesn't have the best view range in the universe, and that is the other thing, or the other reason why this tank is quite so mental, is because the fact is, the concealment at 174 metres of still concealment is just absolutely phenomenal. It's one of the best in World War II. One of them, anyway. But to add to that, at tier 5 and 6, which you're going to see a lot of, because you're a preferential premium, the view ranges just aren't that high, which means that you can farm people from really close up before they'll ever see you. But this second replay is in a tier 8 matchup. And we're up to 969 assistance, made out 1300 assistance, 544 damage. And I'm like, that's a Tiger 2 in the open. Okay. How far are we? 400 metres? Yeah, at 400 metres with the concealment that we've got and all that sort of stuff, this guy will not spot us. We load premium because we need 194 pen to actually go through the lower plate of the Tiger 2. And it's the only way we're actually going to pen him. And even at the angle that we've got at him at the minute, it's still a bit of a struggle for those rounds to go in. It's something to bear in mind that with the E25, because of how fast you fire, it's quite common for you to actually run out of ammunition in this vehicle. So be very, very careful of that. We're up to 2,002 assistance so far, and we've found the piggies. We've found both piggies, and we're just farming up as hard as we can. We've played very, very aggressively so that we can try and get these guys. Because we spotted the Tiger 2 where he was and there was no one else really here, I just decided I wanted to push and see if we could find anything else, and that's exactly what we did. And you can see we're playing that scout role perfectly. We're up to 3,000 assistance. And again, this is just what the E25 can do. It's just utterly, utterly filthy as a tank, because you can play that scout role, you can get some dirty assistance, and then when you need to play as a tank destroyer, you can absolutely shred things with the 3.7k DPM that this vehicle has. So we know that the Charioteer is in the middle, and I was wanting to go after the Charioteer, but we know there's still an Arty alive, and there is the M4A1 FL10. So I'm thinking, we can get some shots into the side of the VK7501K and this Charioteer, because they are side on in the open. We are firing standard at this VK, which for side shots could be a little bit awkward. We did get spotted by the M4A1 FL10 as you put around the corner, and I didn't really want to sit there anymore because of the fact that the VK7501K could have actually just started looking at us. There is this T150 behind us, and I'm thinking, right, okay, let's get the T150 out. But I don't want to take any hits from him if I can do that. So we drive around the corner. It's like, hello, Mr. T150. He's fired. We track him. And now we can just use the phenomenal DPM to keep him pinned while we finish him off. So we shut down the T150, sorry. And then we shut down the T3488 with 2 shots in 2 seconds flat. Literally, because this tank actually has a 2.19 second reload with the build that we have. Evidently, by the way, you can actually drop the gun rammer, the advanced loader, and run something like vents to get better view range and better everything, and you'll still have a 2.3 second reload. So while the advanced loader is great to have in that utterly phenomenal DPM that you have on this thing and that we have at 3.7k, you don't actually really have to run it that much. You could actually make something else about the tank better without the advanced loader, like running vents to get up to 471 meters of view range instead, and making the reload still a little bit better and making everything about the tank generally better. Or you could run the traction system and go at 72 kilometers an hour and have better track traverse. You know, there's plenty of options to run on this vehicle. It's down to you and how you want to play the tank. You know, I mean, realistically, I would say it's either between the advanced loader and the traction system, because you're not really going to want to run the advanced reload or the ammo swapper, as it is, because you could reload the round you want really quickly anyway. So you don't really need that. You could run vents, like I say, to make everything about the tank better. That's an option. You could run the traction system to get that better track traverse and top speed. You don't need to run the powertrain, because the powertrain buffs up your speed and your engine power. But you've already got good engine power and good speed, so you may as well just run the traction system in that case. You don't need to run a GLD, because your aim time on this vehicle is already so phenomenal that the GLD will just not impact you that much at all. And yeah, you're not really going to take anything else on this vehicle in terms of the equipment that are available to you. So yeah, it's down to you and how you want to play the vehicle. But yeah, we've come in like a wrecking ball and got rid of the Charioteer. It was like, hello, Mr. Charioteer. We've managed to shut him down, and now we've got behind the T-28 Prot, and I'm firing on the move, and it's like, oh, hang on a minute. Is this guy AFK? I think he is. Well, he's going to be spotting me if I go after any of the other heavy tanks, so we just need to get rid of this guy. We damage his Armour rack, which is what we've been aiming for. We're shooting him now in the spot that we damaged the Armour rack in the hope that we do manage to pop it. The Pantera was clearly waiting for the kill there, and he ends up shutting down the T-28 Prot. But there's 4 tanks left on the enemy team. We're up to 3.7k damage with 3k assistance. It's like, hello, Mr. KV-85. We got one on the move. Finish off the KV-85 with the shot in the side for our 5th kill of this game, up to 4,000 damage. And there is 3 tanks left on the enemy team. There's the VK7501K that's directly in front of us, a Barask somewhere, and a Tiger 1. So we're just going to close in on this VK. We have 15 rounds left. I should not be firing these on the move. I don't think I'd realised at this point. It was like, oh no. We fire on the move again and miss. And it's like, well, you know what? I'm just going to play the meme game against the VK. And that is, I can actually sit underneath this guy's gun. He does not have the gun depression to get a shot at the E25 here. As you can see, he misses. So we're just playing this game of hugging his side and then using the DPM of the vehicle to just slam these rounds home and rob him of his hit points. But we've got to make this very, very awkward, because if he keeps moving, we've got to keep turning sideways to get the shots in. But look, our ammo is running out, which means we need all of these rounds to make sure that we're going to kill him. So we've put him down to a one-shot. There we go. He is now definitely a one-shot. We've got 1 shell left in the tank. I've got to make sure this pens. And there we go. We secure our 6th kill of the game on the VK7501K. And we're up to 5.3k damage with 3.1k assistance. And we've got no ammo left, which happens quite often in the E25. We have no ammo left. There's nothing left. Nothing left in the tank. I got nothing left! So what are we going to do? We're on 8.4k combined with the Top Gun. We've got Scout Medal as well for 9 spots. There is 1 tank left on the enemy team that I'm truly concerned about my team dealing with, and that is this Barask. So, what am I going to do? Well, I've still got hit points. There's no point spotting these guys, because the Barask will spot me just as much as I'll spot him, and we're not going to be able to deal with it. So, you know what? I feel like my team could deal with the Tiger 1, but the Barask, they probably couldn't. So, Mr. Ramming Speed! And we get rid of the Barask with the ram, securing more damage and our 7th kill of this game. And thankfully, our team managed to take down the Tiger 1 like I thought they might be able to. And we finished the game with 7 kills, 5.7k damage, 3.1k assistance. The Ace Tanker, the Devastator, Top Gun, High Caliber, Scout Medal, with the 3.1 thousand base XP. My best ever XP game. It was a tier 8 game in the E25. Filthy game in the E25, just showing off how filthy this tank generally is. Dirty, dirty game. The only way to secure the win there for me was to actually finish off that Barask, because I really did feel like my team, with what was left, which was, you know, a tier 8 artillery, a tier 6, and a tier 7, would be able to actually deal with the Tiger 1, but a Barask could run them ragged and just finish them off double taps. So it had to get rid of the Barask to finish off that game, and that's how we did it. So, as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
a great success.